Morning, ladies, gentlemen. 606 Garage here. Jason. I just want to say thank you for all the support. We broke 100 subscribers this weekend. Picked up about 20 over the weekend. That's a record. Seems like a lot of people like the engine hoist video. It's got a lot of views. I'm gonna start cleaning this mess up here so I can start working again. That's my plan today. I know I've said that in probably every video, but I've got a lot to pick up and clean up here, so I'm gonna get started. So my original plan was to get the Capri out of here, let it sit for a couple weeks or whatever. Honestly, I don't want to take it anywhere, and I just, by the time I get it and get everything going, I plan on moving quick enough to just have it right back in here. Now, that may not be the case. Everybody knows me, and I'm slow, and my plans change like this every day. It'll change before this video's over. Actually, you know what? I probably need to get this out of here. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I got some dirt bikes I'm going to sell. I need to pull them in here and clean them up and go through them and make sure they're good. Anybody need any KTMs? I got you. I got two 250s. I got a 2015 KTM 250 XCW 2-strokes. Got about 79 hours on it. And I have a 17 250 XC 2-stroke. And I think it has, I don't think it has 30 hours on it. And it's, I'll plug a picture of it here in a minute. I'm probably going to sell those because I don't ride anymore. I had an injury. I'm trying to get over it. And that was back in 18, November. I think the injury occurred in October of 2018. I did finish out the season in November, and I believe that was a mistake. I think I polished off my shoulder pretty good. So, but anyway, I'm going to get those in here, sell them, because, hey, we need car parts, right? That's the plan. So, if I can take that money and I can get a serious start on finishing one of my bigger projects. Now, the Capri is not one of the bigger projects. He's already sucked the life out of me, but I love it. And I'm not complaining. I'm just bringing to light that you get a lot of money invested in a car. I mean, it's like this. It's like you're grocery shopping, okay? You buy and you get everything, you put it in your cart, and by the time you get to the checkout line, you're like, oh, God, what happened? What did I buy? It's exactly the same with these hot rods, and everybody knows it that fools with them knows exactly what I'm talking about. Just like the last video, I was like, well, I bought all this stuff and I've got this money into it. Well, guess what I forgot to order? Struts. So I ordered some struts, and where I'm going with coilovers, I thought, man, I really ought to brace that strut tire. And I mean, that's the thing, you should do it anyway. So by the time I brought struts and a strut tire, that was another, it's over $600 for taxes. That's how close, I mean, every time you touch this thing is $1,000. So, but the best thing about it is when this car is done, you can't tell me it wasn't done right. Because it's going to be, I mean, it's great, you know. You can go out there and beat the fire out of this car and it can handle it. You know, that's a lot of steps that people miss right there. They don't spend the money to make it right. Like, for instance, look at you. My shop dog. You my shop dog. You like coming down here, Dad, don't you? Boy, you do, don't you? All right, let's get some stuff cleaned up around here. This old blue car. Let's talk about, well, I don't want to get in this rabbit hole. This car's got a lot of money sunk into it. And it's basically all that money thrown in a 4-cylinder car that has no suspension upgrades. Zero. It has some looks like eBay control arms under it that's probably got the bushings wallered plumb out of it. Nothing else. It's got a subframe connectors on it that are bolted in with one bolt front and back. So basically, you've added a hinge to the flex. You've not strengthened the car at all. If anything, you've weakened it. So that's, prioritize your money. If you can't afford to go fast, don't go fast. My friend says, speed costs money. How fast you want to go? Well, I got news for you. Speed is important. Speed is very expensive. But let me tell you what, safety, now hear me out here. Safety does not cost as much as speed. Remember that. Safety does not cost as much as speed. Now, if you don't understand what I'm saying, I don't care if it costs you twice as much to make your car safe. Hospital bills cost a hell of a lot more than a race car. Ever thought about being? It can take your home. It can take everything from you. It can take your livelihood. And I'm not talking about the hospital bill. I'm talking about the injuries. So safety costs less than speed. Buy that roll cage. Strengthen that car up. Get that suspension right. It's easy to tweak a suspension after you've got it in there to, accept your horsepower gains. Get a plan, figure out where you want to go with the car, how fast you want to go with the car, and build that car to accept that horsepower and that speed. Then come back, and as the car grows in speed, every little tweak, every little twang, every little whatever, the car will be so predictable, you'll be able to handle anything it throws at you because you're going to know the car. You're going to watch it grow. It's like this. When you get a dog from 3 weeks old, you've raised that dog. That dog is predictable to a T. You know everything about it. You know how it breathes. You know how it looks at you. You know exactly what it wants. You go get a dog from the pound that's 2 or 3 years old. You've got a learning period with this dog of probably a year, maybe more, to understand its full attitude, get where it's been through, and how it reacts to everything. No different than with the race car. If you buy a built race car ready to go, you don't know anything about that car. You don't know if it pulls right here at this RPM. You don't know if it pulls left at this RPM. You have to take the time to learn all that. Build your car safety first. Then grow into the car as you go. I promise you, you'll be an amazing racer. You'll be hard to beat. Well, that's about it on my rant for that. Like I say, I think you should always get the car ready to go before you go. So, and I'm a stickler for checking over a car before I go for a drive. And I still miss things. Luckily, I break down in my driveway. I don't even make it to the road. So, just, that's my word of advice. Safety always. Build your car to where it can handle it. I just seen a video this morning from Turbo John. I don't know what happened. I guess he just, broke traction. And he could not overcome what was inevitable. He couldn't overcome how much the car was out of control. And I'm not saying the guy's car wasn't set up. I mean, that car's fast. I'm not saying anybody could save that car. And that's another fella that's grown with his car. He's went from fast to faster to faster. So, hearts out to him. Hope everything's okay with him. He uploaded that 10 hours ago. Seemed like he was fine. Other than the fact he destroyed his car. I'm going to get this cleaned up. I'm going to get the car pushed back. I'm going to get the engine hoist pulled out of here so I can go ahead and finish it. Get all my parts out front here, in front of the car, laid out, get me a plan. Before I pull the engine, I'm going to take this front suspension apart. Then, I'll have it sitting on jack stands where it needs to be. Then I'm going to pull the engine out of it. Then I'm going to change the cross member and start assembling the suspension back together. This takes some time. It takes about a day. A full day that I never have. So, that being said, it's going to take a little bit for this car to grow. It's going to be a few weeks under the knife. I plan on spending about a day on the 5-speed, getting it built, rebuilt, whatever. And that's if I have everything. And actually, now that I think about it, I have to get the right gear for it, because I think I've decided I'm going to run 373s in this car. Rick, don't freak out. I got 2 sets. So, I am going to put the 373s in this car, drive it for a while. I do have a set of 355s, so if I decide I want to go with a taller gear, I'm going to do that. Back to what I was saying here. I'm going to get the car put together, running, and I need it ready for the spring. I'm going to be working on 2 cars at one time after we get this car. When I say car show ready, I'm not talking about looks by no means. I just want people to drive to Winchester, okay? I need this car to be able to drive to Winchester, which is 27 miles from this house. I'm going to be working on this LX over here, this 91 LX that my friend Todd pretty much gave me. And I'm going to start working on that red coupe. I've wanted a car to drag race so bad, and I know I have this blue car here, but I don't trust that blue car. That thing is built pretty shoddy. And we're going to do a video on it. We're going to go all over that car. But I want to get this car here. This car actually got almost done minus the paint, and I stopped for whatever reason. I think Rick wants the hood off of it, so the hood's going to come off of it. But anyway, I need to order another hood for the car, because he was wanting a steel hood. I'd like to put a lighter hood on anyway with a little bit taller cowl. I just got a lot going on. I mean, it's crazy. My head's spinning, But I'm going to work on that car. The red coupe, like I said, I wanted to get one that was a race car that I could drive to the racetrack. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I was just sitting there harping about. Now, I'm going to go through the car, make sure the brakes and everything's good. I'm going to put a 273 rear in that car. Leave the factory control arms and stuff on it. I'm not even, I probably will tie the frame, because I just don't think a car should go down the track without having the frame tied. But I'm going to put a stock Explorer motor in this thing, a 5-speed, that 273 gear, and I'll put a set of 10 holes or turbine wheels under something, and we're going to take it down the drag strip, and we're going to run it. We're going to see how fast it'll go. And then we're going to come in and we're going to start making changes. We're going to see how does that car react. I wanted to do that with this Capri, but that's just not the car for it. It's not the car for it. I want a car that I can jerk all the interior out, throw it in the trash, just leave it, whatever, and never have to put it back in there again. I can tell you that the red car is going to end up with a roll cage in it. Is it going to be fast enough to need it? Probably never. Safety. I want harnesses in there. I want decent seats. I want safety. Like I said, we're going to start off with a stock Explorer motor. I'll probably go through the heads. I'll end up putting a cam in it. We're going to run it till we shake the rods loose in it. And then we'll build something. Because next weekend, I'm going after a brand new block. And I'm going after an 85 motor that was started taking apart. But I checked the block and it didn't have hardly any wear in it to mount anything. And we'll probably freshen that motor up. I may take it and have it bored. I don't know. I'll have everything checked out, and they'll tell me if it's worth building or not, if I can find a decent machine shop. So that's my weekend, guys. That's where I'm at. So basically this weekend, I'm cleaning. Trying to get everything together here. I got a lot of work to do, but we're going to start having some fun. I told y'all I'm back. We're going to start having some fun.